was the nail in the cake.
Nail in the cake. Yeah. The cherry on the cake.
Hi there, Lewis here with Ascension Dimension.
Hello.
With the wonderful Christina. Just put out, well, it'll probably be a few days now by the time this goes on, but we just put out your poem, didn't we?
Yeah, my first poem. Well, one of my poems. But yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
So you got this thing right here, yeah? We've got to be careful with it. We're just going to hear rustle with your boobs against the microphone.
Oh.
Friday mood. Right. So today we're going to talk about getting sober.
Yes, getting sober. This is actually, I've been looking forward to this episode. This is, it's life changing. I think this one.
Really, yeah, it really has been.
Yeah.
I haven't had a drink now for a year and a half.
Year and a half. Yeah, it'll
Something
be
like that.
2 years November. So when we started through this struggle, we went in a little deeper into our drinking at home and realised how it wasn't good.
Yeah, the whole pandemic thing. We didn't know what the hell was going on. Apart from it seemed pretty bad. Go down some conspiracy rabbit holes and all the evidence pointed towards it not being good. So
Yeah.
well, let's just drink more.
Yes, we ended up drinking quite a lot more, and we'd been talking about it for a few years. Obviously, we didn't always have a drinking problem, but we always realised that we hit it a bit hard. But during the house arrest, let's call it, it got worse. And we realised that it wasn't where we wanted to be. So with all the spiritual and awakening changes that we were going through on top, we realised that it had to go. Well, I definitely knew it had to go, because I'm hi, my name is Christina. I'm a 4th generation alcoholic, and it ends with me, basically, is what I decided. So
Yeah, I mean, I knew I had this kind of voice in the back of my head saying, when you stop drinking, if or when you stop drinking, things are going to change for the better. Now, I kind of knew that there was going to be big changes. I didn't quite fathom quite the change it would be, but it has definitely been for the better. Things are a lot more exciting now.
yeah, I think we were slaves to our drinking, so to speak. It sort of, our whole lives evolved around it.
Yeah,
as
that's the
opposed
thing.
to-
It defined what we did. If we went somewhere with the kids, we'd end up, invariably sitting down and having a drink at the. Where we are in Spain, there's like parks everywhere with bars at the side of the park.
Yeah, it's actually
a
quite
cafe.
cool. There's cafes right near the park, which is great. But when you're an alcoholic, it highlights it that around the rest of the world it doesn't tend to be that way. Yeah.
So it was defined. It would very much define what we would do of a lunchtime, of a Friday evening, of a Saturday, and it would be the thing would be to meet up to drink. Everything was very drink centric. It became the thing to do rather than the thing you did whilst you were doing something else.
Yeah, I think what we realised was that our social life, it was, yes, where we had a very active social life, it was all alcohol based. That was it. Everywhere we went, you went for food, you ate, you drank. You went for the park, you drank. You went to the beach, you drank. Anything you do, you drank. And it's not really how we wanted to live our lives. So I think if we both talk about, because obviously sobering up is just like awakening, it's a very personal experience. So getting sober has to come from yourself. I was part of and I still am. I go to Anon, which is I'm an adult child of an alcoholic, so I've very aware of what alcoholism does to families, having grown up in it. And like I say, it's 4 generations now that I know of. I'm not sure the family would also agree, but anyway. And it was always at the back of my mind, yeah, you drink too much. And I've always been very careful, because I was very aware and very scared of letting the drink control me. And I think it just crept up on me. I didn't realise it had happened. I'd had the kids, we had a good life. I wouldn't say we drank too much, but then we decided to build a house, and I think that's when it kicked in a little bit more than I wanted it to. And I remember various times going to the park or going to a restaurant thinking, yeah, I'm not going to drink today, sitting down and going, yeah, I'll have a glass of wine, please. And not being in control of it. I felt like I wasn't in control of it anymore. I knew that. And I knew that it had to change, and as I was changing everything else in my life, I knew it was it was the nail, or the cherry on the cake, shall we call it. And I like that saying better, that it had to go.
It was the nail in the cake.
Nail in the cake. Yeah. The cherry on the cake. Nail in the coffin was the saying I was going to use. And it was quite an enlightening moment. And we've tried the whole, we'll only drink on a Friday, or we'll only drink on a Saturday. But both of us being that way inclined, and I suppose our upbringing or whatever, that we both got that. I don't know if it's an addict gene. I know I definitely have the genes for it, but I think all of humanity is capable of being addicted to something. And it was something we liked to do together, So there was no, let's just have one, or let's just do it on a Friday, because it never stayed that way, did it?
No, but it was a crutch, and we were getting stressed out all the time. And as we understand more about vibration and law of attraction and things like that, if we're lowering our vibration constantly by having this alcohol, allowing in these negative or putting a big siren on our heads, a target on our backs from these negative entities, energetic, I don't know, but drinking really doesn't solve the problem if you're stressed out, because it's just a numbing. But so many bad things happen when you're drunk. Like, really.
Yeah.
Things that you don't take care of, or you just hope that things go away, and they come back, and it's already worse, or you have arguments, or things get broken, and it's terrible. It's destructive.
It went from bad to worse, I suppose. Very destructive. And it ruins the whole day. And then your day all goes out the window. It's like, oh no, I've had a terrible phone call with the bank. I can't deal with the stress. I'm just going to have a glass of wine at lunch, and that's it. That's your day gone. So that's, especially where we live, because, like I say, social drinking is part of life. You go out for beer and tapas, and that's it.
But that would be it. It would be like, 11 o'clock, phone rings, some bad news. Go have a drink, When is it 12 o'clock? It was terrible. It was really, really terrible. But that was like, I felt like, the anxiety that I had. Yeah, and I could literally just feel that when I had that beer.
Yeah.
It would just be like, but that's terrible to have that kind of a crutch. I mean, there was some fun. I did some fun drinking as well, but most of the time, like 95% of the time, it was just the habitual stuff. This is what we do all the time kind of stuff. No, not all the time, not literally constantly, but go out for lunch and then like a bit of wine while cooking. But I could easily put away quite a lot.
Yeah. We never. I don't think there's very often that we just opened one bottle of wine, because we both drank it, and you only get 4 glasses out of a bottle, and that was never enough for us two, you know. So we'd have to have another one, and it gets worse. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
It is a very slippery slope, and until you live it, you don't understand it. And when you've been brought up, when you've lived it all your life, I was sat there as a mum, and I was like, I don't want this for my kids. I don't want them to have this when they grow up, and I just want it to be different for them, because, you know, we all have our traumas and stuff we have to deal with from our childhood, but alcohol is a family disease, and you know, it's at the beginning it's a lot harder. It's beginning more of a struggle, but you know, it gets easier, and the pain it causes, it's just really not worth it. It's really not worth it. But I can say that I don't think about it. I got over the hurdle. The first few months were really difficult, and then after that, it's not something I think about now. It's not like, oh, I can't go there because I drink if I go there. No, it's very different. I think it's come with the spiritual awakening and the enlightenment and everything else. You know, I know the feeling. I know the exact feeling that happens when you take that first sip. And it being legal just makes it even more obvious that it's if you haven't got a handle on it, it will take you over.
So my family, so I've got my brother and sister in England, and my dad, he doesn't drink so much anymore, but used to drink, but not heavily that I remember. But yeah, every family get together with my brother and sister, and they're older than me. It was always carnage. Just like fun, but carnage.
Yeah.
You know, but it would go on till like, you know, 1 in the morning or something, which is quite late for England. But it would just be, all right, hi, how you doing? Great, open the fridge, here you go, crack on for the next 12 hours.
Yeah, the family reunions are quite, for both sides, I think they're quite much like that.
But when I was younger, I used to think, how on earth, because when I didn't really drink that much at all until I was, 16, 17. Sounds terrible me saying that, but I never realised. I just thought, how could anyone get addicted to this?
Yeah.
Because I used to feel so terrible.
Yeah, I used to think that.
The next day, I would just be like, oh, I don't want to drink for ages. And then I wouldn't drink for ages.
I think it's that first hangover, isn't it, off something like... I remember my Bacardi hangover. It was like really badly. It's like, no, never going to drink again. But then something happened.
Well, I put in the time, you know, I really dug deep, and I put in the time that you need to condition your body to years and years of abuse.
Yeah.
And I think secretly I was kind of secretly proud of myself that I was a drinker. I could drink properly, you know. It's silly. It's really silly, but that I wasn't a lightweight anymore, that I could drink all day and not, you know, pass out or not throw up, because that was the worst one, when you get the spinning room. But that stopped many years ago. But I also stopped smoking as well, because I had stopped smoking for like 10 years, and then we started the build, and that really stressed me out, and I went back to an old crutch.
Yeah, that was a crutch we wanted you to get rid of. The whole family, none of us liked him smoking, so I think quitting smoking was a lot easier for me than the quitting drinking. I did actually find quitting drinking a little bit hard, and it changed everything. So what happened is, everyone's like, okay, yeah, you quit drinking. Everyone understood that we needed to quit drinking, but also your social circles will change regardless, because you no longer can hang out in the same way, and where everyone else is still going in the same direction, you're now going a different way. So we found that as we were changing because of our thoughts and what we were doing, we had the sobering up at the same time, and so it was like no more trips to the park to get to get drunk. Sounds terrible, doesn't it? Really sounds terrible.
Yeah.
and it's a big change, because now we prefer to go hiking or cycling or do some kind of sporty activity that's involves the whole family, whereas instead we used to just like to get all the kids together and they take care of themselves so the parents can sit down and have a party, basically.
I don't know I just don't know how we'd find the time to drink anymore.
Yeah.
Things are so busy right now, but like positive stuff, and my agenda with these things that I like to do on a daily basis, and the work type stuff that we try and do, and it's just we just wouldn't have the time.
No, definitely not. Oh no, because it literally knocks you for 6, and it becomes an all-consuming habit.
Anyway, see
a lot of people. So if you feel like there's something you want to get rid of it, there's no shame in that, and the program helps. I can't stress it enough. The program helps.
I started going to some meetings. I was going twice a week at the beginning, because I'd hit rock bottom. It was very embarrassing, and I had to kind of admit it. There was a lot of tears, and shame, a lot of shame, but it's quite an adult thing to do, to admit it and to come to terms with the fact that it's not normal, and it's destructive. So anyway, I went to some meetings, but yeah, I mean, it was really the fact that this coincided with the spiritual awakening or development, or I just didn't want to miss out on developing that way, and I knew that the alcohol would hinder that, so that was a massive reason to not drink, was because I could feel that there's more than just this. Well, how do I get more of that? And that was quite it was a real I'm trying to think of the word. It was a real bonus to
uplifting.
It was no, but it was like that was the real incentive. That's the incentive to me. It wasn't like, well, I'm going to try really hard not to drink, and then as a bonus I get the spiritual stuff. It was, no, I really want this spiritual development, and I don't want anything to get in the way of that, so I don't want to drink. Plus, on top of all the other reasons for not drinking, all the money that we've saved, all the arguments that we've saved, and we could really argue.
Oh yeah, we're really good at that. We're a great team at everything we do, even arguing.
So I mean, if you're on a kind of spiritual journey or some kind of developmental journey, then it's a fantastic time to look at if you're drinking a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
Because they say that it lowers your vibration, it lets in darker entities that can. I don't know, but they say that it opens up. That's why people say, "Well, you can't remember stuff." It's like some nasty little bad consciousness comes in and does all these crazy things, and then fucks off again, and then you wake up with the bruises, or where's all the money go?
Well, it definitely changes you. I was actually consciously aware of doing things that are very out of my character, and it wasn't myself, and it was when I was drunk, and it felt like there was two people in my body, and not in a good way. It was not. It's like you don't want to do things, but you're doing these things anyway, and it's like you're watching from behind a bit of glass. It's very, very weird. So it's a daily struggle getting the program, but the program really does help, and the steps to recover. Not only I found that it was a recovery program on many levels, but it's also something that I think that the world could do. It just works for everything. The world could really do with a step-by-step recovery program right now.
So we're talking about Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yes.
Step program.
Yeah.
So it's just like we're talking in code. We don't need to worry about the algorithm for this.
Oh no, sorry, I'm not talking in code for that. I'm just talking because
Yes,
because it's so.
because we know.
I've grown up with it, so it's that's kind of like how I talk about it. So sorry about that.
Well, I'm guessing there's a website, Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah, there is alcoholics.anonymous.org, I think it is.
Oh, okay. So yeah, and then you
And
can
then
like
for
go
family
you can go
members.
and get live. You can go and join a live Zoom.
Yes.
If
That-
you need some help, like right now, just go and log in and.
Yeah, they have
register.
Facebook pages, they have websites, and I must say that that's one thing that this organised pandemic has brought forward is the fact that you can do these meetings online, where before they've always been very face-to-face. There's always been someone at the other end of a phone, whereas now there's like 24-hour marathon meetings, so you at any time of the day you can get on a meeting, be it that you are the person with the problem or if you're a family member. That's what Anon is. It's the program for friends and family, which helps. It really helps because, like I say, it is, you know, I've got a lot of. I could talk about this for days and hours, but yeah, there's help out there if you need it. So
And
it's
you'll start to gravitate towards people that are like-minded, you know, that are interested in more healthier habits. You know, you might meet some people in the AA groups. If they might not be your people, but it's just to get you over the hump to getting things under control again. And if abstinence completely, because I can't. I've tried doing the whole, you know, just the odd drink here and there. It just doesn't work because straight away I'm back on it every single day. So you know, so some people just the biochemical effects of just having one drink is just too much, and some people just need to just not drink.
Yeah, they call it the addict gene, but yeah, it's been researched and stuff. I can't remember the names of the guys right now. I can find it to put it in the description below. But there's an actual doctor who became an addict, and he analysed it. There's a thing in the brain where you want more and more. Some of us are just born that way, but it's not something to be ashamed of. You know, I do it with pride. I say it with pride because it's part of my journey. If I obviously chose it somewhere before I got here, but if I could choose it, yeah, of course I wouldn't choose to have this addiction issue, but it's brought me to where I am now, and it's brought me to being the person I am now, and you know, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for the lessons that I've learnt along the way, and I'm very grateful that I can be very open and honest about my recovery, and I talk about it very openly with the kids. That I must say, they are a big part of it, because, you know, they've obviously, luckily they're quite young, but they've seen us in quite a state, so yeah, they're very happy that we're happy, I think is good way of putting it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame for me because it was almost a bucket list thing. I wanted to go to Scotland and go around all the whiskey distilleries, but c'est la vie.
Yeah, I wanted to do the wine tours up in the north of Spain. That was a big thing that the girls were all going to plan for my 40th, but yeah, that's not happening. It's okay. We can still go to Scotland.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get to this 5G thing and we can get rid of addiction and I don't know. Maybe it just won't. I mean, I remember listening to an Alex Collier interview, and he said that the Andromedans they have other things that don't lower your vibration, they increase it. Or there's the other drinks that give you some kind of effect. And also Ian M. Banks, author, fantastic author, writes these feature. Well, he's dead now. May he rest in peace, or maybe he be doing something really cool. His books talk about the culture and the members of the culture, and they gland different drugs, and they have lots of. So you know, it's not like if you're higher dimensional being or higher, you know, it's not like you don't have fun. You know, they have fun.
You don't need any of that to have fun.
But, you know what I'm saying? But it's just...
Yeah,
it's
that might be there for you.
I know, because some of us kind of miss that aspect of it, you know?
Some of us
But
don't.
there's... I think that it's the addictive nature that's a very slow ruin, probably by design, you know, keeping us just that constant low vibration by design. But yeah, I think in the future there'll be that kind of fun again, but without the slow ruin.
Yeah.
Is all I mean. I'm just saying that I think in these other societies, other cultures, I'm not talking just humans on planet Earth here, I'm talking like other beings.
Other planets, other beings.
They probably do have fun and do use substances, but don't ruin their lives with these substances.
Well, the thing with alcohol is it's a social thing. There's loads of memes about it and stuff, but it is literally the only drug that you have to explain to people why you're not taking it. So it's like, I'm very clear. It's like, oh, would you like a drink? No, I'm an alcoholic, thank you. I say it out loud, not because not for any other reason. That's the truth. It's my truth, and I walk it, I own it. Take responsibility for everything. Try to, for everything. But it's been brought here and made so socially acceptable to get into these states that I think it's something that moving forward as we go to the new world, or as we create our new futures, I think it's something that everybody's going to take a look at and say, hang on a minute, it's not something that, it's not a positive thing, you know, not for when it's done on so many levels. I mean, come on, you go out and have a drink, everything you do has drinks involved around it, and it doesn't need to. Did I get too deep there?
Well, I'm just thinking it's going past bite-sized.
Oh yeah, but this is a massive topic. I wanted to cover the fact that the social, mental, emotional and family consequences of getting sober are the positive sides. They're very similar to when you come to awakening, and if you happen to wrap them both in the same package like we did, it's a whirlwind. But there's so many positive sides to it. Yeah, there's, like I say, we've got a lot going on. So you said we've got a lot going on. What's coming up? What have we got going on? That's positive, good things that are happening.
Well, you've just started to do your poems. I'm practicing the guitar a lot more than I used to.
Yes.
You know, I put it in my list of things to do. You know, we do our family qigong every day.
That's so much fun. That's really balancing the energy of the house now. It's really good.
We've got some bookings for the rental next door, so you know we're figuring out all that stuff. But we're now starting to see all these. Well, the geopolitics is kicking off again, isn't it? So
yes, we won't talk about that today, but Lewis has very good insights on things like that. He has a different view than other people. Yeah, I started writing again about the same time as I stopped drinking. I realised that the voice in my head, that little thing that kept telling me that I wasn't good at anything, actually came hand in hand with my alcoholic streak. So I got rid of both of them at the same time. So that's fun.
Yeah, so now's a good time to take stock of your situation. But yeah, I think that's probably about it for me.
Yeah,
I'm glad I did it. I'm glad we're doing it.
Yeah.
And you know, I used to need a drink to feel comfortable in a social environment, but now I've really come out of my shell.
You are
socially without needing, you know, because I used to feel so awkward without a drink. And now it's just like, well, this is who I am. And
yeah, I think it helps you find your centre and find yourself. Not that you're lost, but you know, to figuring out who we are is, I think, one of the main reasons we come here, no? To try and remember and enjoy the journey. So yeah, I'm very happy that we both quit, and I'm very happy that we're on this together. But it is a very personal thing, and No one can tell you what to do. You got to take it at your own pace, and you got to do it your own way. That's how it goes. Wouldn't you say?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. That's it. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Have a great week.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.